You believe your thoughts are your own. You believe your decisions are yours. You believe you are in control. You are not. Right now, as you watch this, forces you cannot see are shaping what you think, what you want, and what you're afraid of. This isn't conspiracy. This is psychology, documented, proven, published. And the most disturbing part? It's been happening your entire life. CurioCrypt, Fact File 004. Your mind is not your own. Let's prove it. In 1983, neuroscientist Benjamin Libet ran an experiment that shook the scientific world. He asked participants to flick their wrist whenever they felt like it, while monitoring their brain activity. He found something that nobody expected. The brain showed electrical activity, preparing for the movement, a full 550 milliseconds before the person consciously decided to move. Your brain decides. Then it tells you that you decided. The feeling of making a choice arrives after the choice is already made. Free will, as we understand it, may be the brain's way of narrating decisions it already took without you. You are not the driver. You are the passenger who thinks they're driving. This finding has been replicated dozens of times. It has never been disproven. Part 2. The Bystander Effect. Why People Watch and Do Nothing. March 13, 1964, New York City. A woman named Kitty Genovese was attacked outside her apartment building. The assault lasted over 30 minutes. 38 neighbors heard her screams. Not one called the police. When investigators asked why, the answers were almost identical. I assumed someone else would call. Psychologists named this the bystander effect. The more people witness an emergency, the less likely any individual is to help. Because responsibility becomes diluted, each person assumes someone else will act, so no one does. The most dangerous place to have a heart attack is in a crowded public space. Not because no one cares, but because everyone assumes someone else is already calling for help. If you are ever in danger in a crowd, don't shout, "Help." Point at one specific person and say, "You, in the red jacket, call an ambulance." Specificity breaks the effect. Remember that. Part 3. Gaslighting, the manipulation that rewrites reality. The term comes from a 1944 film, in which a husband secretly dims the gas-powered lights, then tells his wife she's imagining it when she notices them flickering. Gaslighting is the systematic manipulation of someone's perception of reality. It works because the human brain trusts familiar voices more than its own senses. When someone you love tells you that what you saw didn't happen, that what you felt wasn't real, that you're too sensitive, too paranoid, too broken, the brain begins to doubt itself. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in layers. Small contradictions first, then bigger ones, until the victim can no longer tell the difference between their own memory and the version they've been given. Gaslighting is used by abusive partners, by cults, by authoritarian governments, by corporations managing public perception. It works on individuals, and it works on entire populations. The first defense is knowing it exists. Part 4. The Dark Triad. The 3 traits that predict manipulation. Psychologists have identified a cluster of 3 personality traits that produce the most dangerous people in any social environment. Narcissism, an inflated sense of self-importance, a craving for admiration, and a complete lack of empathy for others. Machiavellianism, the willingness to manipulate and deceive to achieve personal goals. No moral resistance, no guilt, just strategy. Psychopathy, emotional detachment, impulsivity, and an inability to form genuine human connections. Studies show that Dark Triad individuals are disproportionately represented in positions of power, in corporate leadership, politics, and finance. Not because the system is broken, but because the traits that make someone dangerous are the same traits that make someone appear confident. You have almost certainly worked for one. You may be related to one. And if you've ever felt manipulated without being able to explain how, now you have a name for why. 1971, Stanford University. Psychologist Philip Zimbardo divided 24 mentally healthy normal college students into two groups, prisoners and guards. He put them in a mock prison in the university basement. The experiment was supposed to last 2 weeks. It lasted 6 days. Within 24 hours, the guards began abusing the prisoners. Psychological torture, sleep deprivation, humiliation. Not because they were told to, but because the role gave them permission. The prisoners began to break down. One had to be released after 36 hours due to acute psychological distress. Zimbardo himself became so absorbed in his role as prison superintendent that he lost objectivity entirely. It was his graduate student who walked into the basement, looked at what was happening and said, "You have to stop this." And he did. The conclusion: ordinary people, given authority over others and removed from accountability, will do terrible things. Not monsters, not sociopaths. Ordinary people, like the ones you know, like you. Part 6. Manufactured Consent. How your opinions are built for you. In 1988, Noam Chomsky and Edward Herman published a book called Manufacturing Consent. Their argument: in a society with a free press, you don't need a government to tell people what to think. You just need to control what information they encounter. Repeat a story enough times, from enough different sources that appear independent, and the public will accept it as truth. Not because they were forced to, but because they chose to. Because it felt like their own conclusion. The most effective propaganda is the kind that doesn't feel like propaganda. This mechanism didn't disappear in 1988. It evolved. Social media algorithms don't show you the world. They show you a version of the world designed to keep you engaged. Anger keeps you engaged. Fear keeps you engaged. Outrage keeps you engaged. The algorithm doesn't have an agenda. It has a metric, and the metric is your attention. Your opinions about politics, society, danger, and other people have been shaped, in part, by systems optimizing for clicks, not truth, clicks. Your brain makes decisions before you do. In a crowd, you become invisible. The people closest to you can rewrite your memory. The most dangerous people look like leaders. Ordinary people become monsters with the right conditions. And your opinions may not be entirely yours. This is not a reason to despair. This is a reason to pay attention. The mind is the most powerful thing in the known universe, but only if you know how it works. Subscribe to CurioCrypt. Fact File 05 is coming, and we're going somewhere darker.